Hello, hello, my dear plannerets. Happy Saturday or Sunday, wherever you are. It is Sunday here in Sydney, Australia, 1 p.m. And I thought before I enjoy the rest of the day, I'm going to set up my bullet journal weekly spread for the week of June 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 4 to the 14th. If you are joining me on Instagram, hello, how are you? Nice to see you. Make sure you let me know where you are tuning in from. Or if you are watching on YouTube, you might be seeing me both in horizontal version and in vertical. If you are watching on the vertical mobile phone version, there is a link at the top if you want to, or you can access the desk view. So that way the desk view is a little bit bigger if you are able to go on your TV or on your desktop. Let's see who's here in the chat. Let's have a lookster. Okay, we have MT888 is Michelle. Nice to see you. It has been a while since I've seen you in a live. So glad you are here. I appreciate you being here so much. And we have Sheila, the positive changes, very late now where she is, off to drift off to dreamland, and I will catch you on the replay. And another Michelle from Instagram, nice to see you. Let me know where you are tuning in from. Are you new here to my live? If so, welcome, welcome. I appreciate you so much. Hooray, hooray for everybody being here. All right, so I know normally I do go on my Plan With Me live streams on my Monday. For those of you in the US or other time zones, it might be your Sunday afternoon or evening. For the month of June, I'm actually taking time off my scheduled Monday live streams. However, when I feel I can and I have the ability to turn up anytime. So keep an eye out for the live streams that might be popping in on your Instagram feed or on YouTube. So I appreciate you so much. So Michelle, just Michelle is in LA. Nice to see you. Thank you so much. Oh, yes, you cut your hair like you said you were going to. It looks fabulous. It's actually outgrown now. It was much shorter. So I'm going to see if I can actually trim it a little bit shorter than it was originally. Yes, so it feels a lot nicer and manageable. All right, let's keep the chatter going in the chat. Make sure if you have some aha moments or if you have any questions, let me know, but we will get right onto it. So this is my June calendar in my A5 Leuchtturm 1917 dotted journal. I do have it in a Hobonichi cousin cover. So this is normally a black, just a plain black cover. I have added lots of teeny tiny stickers all over the front to give that sort of like collage look to it. Inside is a nice baby blue lining. And then I've just inserted my powder pink A5 notebook. So this is the dotted version. There's the calendar. So we are setting up my weekly spread for June the 8th to the 14th. And let me quickly show you. This is the third week that I'm going to be in this new planner. And let me just show you some previous weekly spread. So actually, this was the very first one, which was the last week of May. So I like the vertical columns. And so from Monday and then the weekend, put onto one column there. So that was May 25th to the 31st. And then this week, because we are still on my Sunday here, this is the current weekly spread. Again, that vertical look to it. Now, I am finding that because I do have quite a bit of stuff to do for my setup for the end of week, this space is not enough for me. So I had to rethink what setup do I want for the new weekly spread. The stick looks so good on the stickers look so good on the cover. Yes, so because I think the spring 2025 Hobonichi covers sort of had that like little patchwork, and so I thought, you know what, let's go and recreate that, because these covers are quite expensive, and so if you want to change things around all the time, it may cost a little bit more. So if I wanted to really, if I ever get bored with it, hopefully I don't, because that's a lot of stickers. I mean, I can reuse these stickers. So the cover is a fabric cover, so it's not as if it's going to wreck the stickers. And if I wanted to, I can take them off very softly and slowly, reuse them in my planner pages, and then put some new stickers or some other sort of like patchwork, or go back to the plain black. Okay, so again, if you are here in the live chat with me, say hello. I don't bite much or too hard anyway. All right, so what we're going to do is, what I might do is I'll do a flip through of the current June pages at the end. So if it is something you wanted to have a look at, we'll do that towards the end. So let me quickly go to the new spread. So the thing with bullet journaling or Bujo is you are starting from scratch. So of course, if you are someone who don't have a lot of time to be setting up your planner pages from scratch, bullet journaling may not be for you because it does take time. However, if you know you need to incorporate break, mindfulness, self-care, well-being into your week because you're always on the go, 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 maybe setting up a new weekly spread each and every week is your time off. It's your creative break. So think about that. So if you go, Marianne, I barely have the time to go change clothes or brush my hair. Well, where will I find the time to set up a new weekly spread from scratch? That might be the thing, is that you haven't incorporated enough slow down moments and break in your time. So I have been finding doing this on a weekly basis is my little reset and little time off. Okay, now I have penciled in already the where I'm going to have my days, right, the days, and I'm creating a box grid for each and every day. So once I start making markings on here, you will see that's Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and the notes. And if you are following along, each daily box is 12 grid wide by 7 grid tall. Okay, so just grab your pencil and make markings before you start permanently making some markings. Now I'm going to see if I can put some music on in the background, so then that way in my ear, when there are some quiet moments, it's not dead silence or my traffic, because I do get a lot of traffic noise in the background. Now you let me know if it is too loud, please. Hello Instagrammers, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. I see some faces here. I appreciate you being here. All right, so what do we have? I'm going to start with felt tip pen. So you can't see these anymore, but it is fine liner in different width nib. This is from Hand Lettering Design. These were gifted to me by one of you lovely plannerettes that I think has been with me from the beginning. They're from California and sent a nice little care package. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the thicker felt tip pen to do the days of the week and the border of each grid. So I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit so it's a little bit easier to see. Once again, I have penciled in already the outline or the hand lettering, and then we will go from there. Actually, while we are here, I'm going to keep this page very, very minimal. However, I'm going to add a little bit of color and use the Tombow Dual Brush Pen in 772. This is the blush pink. And so for the days of the date, I'm going to just add a little circle, and that is where I'm going to put the number. Okay, so let me just do this side first. And with my felt tip marker and with the pencil marking, so you'll see this a little bit later, I'm just going to start the border here, okay, and then continue for doing or writing Monday. And so whatever your style of handwriting, just do that. Okay, Monday there. I'm going to see if I can zoom in a little bit more. That might be a little bit still too Hopefully that's okay for everybody. All right, and then again, so 12 grid wide by 7 grid tall, and I'm going to make the corners of the, see if I can focus on that rather than trying to focus on my hand. Sorry for the jiggle jiggle. Whoop, okay, and then I'm going to create rounded corner. Now if you wanted, you can use a ruler, but look, we're going to just, it's okay, those wobbly edges, they're the thing that will create uniqueness to your page. Okay, and don't get too hung up that it's not straight, because once you start adding all of the tasks, to-dos and appointments on there, it won't matter that it's all a little bit wobbly line. So let me know if you're here with me right now. Have you set up your planner pages for the new week, or do you have one of those planners that are already dated and you don't have to worry about setting things up like I am with my bullet journaling? So I actually started bullet journaling back in 2017, June 2017, and you know, follow accounts back in the day like Amanda Rach Lee. Oh, that's looking cute. Okay, Monday, Tuesday. Now I was questioning whether I wanted to do the Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday here, or continue Wednesday, Thursday. So I think I'm going to go like this, as if you're reading from left to right. So I'm going to do Wednesday here rather than keeping all the pages there. Either way, whatever works well with your brain, you know, that's not going to make you glitch and look at it and just go, ah, it's not making sense. Okay, so let me know what planner size you have, and then that way we can see what everyone else is using. What is that? Why is that there? Okay, so what are we doing? Wednesday. All right, so Wednesday is a little bit longer, so I've got to be mindful to make sure I leave enough space. Normally I would be writing this right on top of it, but because I think you'll see my hair. Oh, it's not too bad. You can't see my hair. So I would normally be right on top. Wednesday. Who always has to say it out loud? Wednesday. Okay. Wednesday. And then there we go. And all the way down. Winnie, hello. Oh, we've got some more people. Lavinia from Fiji, nice to see you. We have some international plannerettes. Those of you new to my channel or my page on Instagram, those who do tune in, I call us our plannerettes. Hello, Winnie from Canberra. Are we in the same time zone? New South Wales and Canberra are pretty much the same. Is it 1:15 where you are? It's so what I thought before I get myself outside and have some lunch, because it is a nice day in Sydney today, is not worry about my weekly spread tonight. Get it all set up. Okay, so there's Wednesday. And so yeah, so plannerettes. So again, one of the normal viewers I had from the beginning, I think that's my plannerette who, you know, gifted me this felt tip pens and some other care packages. So I went, oh, that's nice. And I went, you know what, that fits, because whether you are a seasoned planner, new to planning, or stuck in a rut, like most time I am, or want to change new planning, plannerette sounds like, you know, we're learning as we go, or we're planning and changing our minds as we go. So those who've been with me for a while know I've been in ring planner, I've been in Hobonichi. So I'll be, yeah, yes, yeah. Canberra and Sydney are on the same time zone. Okay, so let's quickly have a look. So there we go. We have zoom out is still no zoom out is still trying to figure out. Okay, there we go. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and you know, you don't have to worry about it being perfectly straight with your lines. I think that matches the wiggly line of the days of the week. So the wiggly line of the hand lettering and then the wiggly lines, they all match perfectly. All right, so Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. So I'm just going to zoom out for a little bit so you can see how it's starting to look as a full page. So Winnie says, looking for inspiration. Yes, I'm always looking for inspiration. Now look, if you have a dated planner or a bound planner, of course that's fantastic. But if you're like me, who sometimes I'm not diagnosed, but I think like the terminology that I've been hearing around is neurospicy. You know, sort of can't focus on one thing for too long and would like to always change mind or looking for novelty. Because I know sometimes, you know, our brains, all of us, our brains are wired differently. And sometimes what will work this week or this month may not work next time. Or, you know, the season you're in, not so much weather season, but, you know, whether you're busy, you've got lots of stuff for work, with the family, with the kids, or your mind is cluttered, you have to make sure you find a planning system Saturday that works with however your mind is working at the time. So don't think that because you're no longer touching your planner, you know, this week, or you haven't touched your planner for a while, that, you know, you're failing. It's just your planner is not supporting the version of you today or the version of you this season. So if you have to go and change things up like I do, of course, make sure that it is something you can, that's not going to put you in financial strife by buying all these different planners all the time. But you got to make sure you are looking after your well-being. And if you're feeling stressed by your planner because, you know, you haven't touched it in a while, or the way it's laid out is not fitting in, then, you know, change things up. And the change might just be, you know, a new pen, a new ink color, change up your handwriting. You know, if you normally write straight up and down, maybe you want to write on a slant. I know I change up my handwriting, my pens, whether it's the ink or the nib, just to sort of like reset the brain. Okay, oh, that's looking cute. Very simple, but it's looking quite nice. All right, so let me just quickly flip. So this is a different layout, different weekly. So you've got the vertical. Okay, I had the first week that I used had vertical as well. This spread gives you an opportunity to put a little habit tracker and a calendar at the top. And then, you know, normally I would put something here, maybe a quote or a positive affirmation to help, you know, motivate you for the week. So that's something you can do. And then just adding stamps if you have any, you know, empty spaces. And then here you started using my Muji gel pen in 0.38 nib. Okay, so then that gives it a lighter feel to it. So because of course the thicker felt tip or the nib, then it will look heavier on your page. And yeah, it'll just depend on, you know, your writing. So now I'm going to just use the thinner felt tip and outline that circle, so then it just pops on the page. And all these little things, you know, where you're hand lettering, you're drawing, what's happening is you are concentrating on, you know, making sure things are lining up to the dots. It keeps you in the moment. And what mindfulness means is keeping you right now, not worrying about the past or the future. Now I'm going to use the 772 blush, just the tip of the brush tip, and then I'm just going to create a drop shadow. So then that way it feels like each grid box is, you know, popping off the page with that little drop shadow just behind it. So this one, I'm making it look like the light may be coming from this side. So then the drop shadow will be underneath and to the right of the grid box. If you want, you can have the drop shadow at the bottom and to the left. Whatever you fancy. And then just doing so adding a little bit of color, because then of course once you start putting in your tasks and to-dos, it's gonna start filling up. Okay, now I got this inspiration from my 2018, one of my, I think I'll have a look, I think January. So I've kept, of course, all my bullet journal from a few years back. And instead of first going to maybe Instagram or YouTube, I'm just shopping my own previous bullet journal weekly spread. Okay, just adding some drop shadows to give that nice pop of color to the page. And we'll do one more for notes. So this box here could be anything that's random notes, maybe something I have to remember for next week. And yeah, I found that splitting Saturday and Sunday into one column in my previous weekly spread, I was running out of room. Hence, I had to add a post-it note for today's task. All right, so this is today's task, set up new weekly spread. I'm going to mark that as complete because that's what we're doing now. And then let's have a look. Let's go get another, maybe a thicker one. So now this is the one, and we're going to use that for the dates of the week. So make sure we got 8, 9, 10, maybe this was too thick, that's okay, 11, 12, 13, and 14. Coolio. All right, next I'm going to use, now I created this stencil. This is, I think, was just a plastic envelope, document envelope that I cut to size, and then I used, I think, maybe my Cricut cutting machine or my Silhouette cutting machine. So lots of different runs through it to make sure that these grid all line up to the grid of this bullet journal. So the Lockstone, I think this is, let me grab a ruler. Where is my ruler? I think the grids are 5 millimeters. So then on my Cricut cutting machine or on my Silhouette, I can't remember because it was a few years back, I put in little boxes where a smaller box, and then sort of like a bigger squares. I've got little droplets for water intake, as well as little glasses, and then little circles. And also I've got a cloud, and I've got pen marks on me. All right, so we have Michelle saying, have you always done bullet journaling since 2017, or have you been there, or have there been years where you have taken breaks from it? Have you always done it in the same size brand or journal? No, so 2017, June 2017 was when, June 20, yep, that's right. June 2017 was when I first started bullet journaling. You know, I worked outside of the home. And then 2019 was when we took my son out of support class. He's on the autism spectrum, and we decided we were going to homeschool him. And then, because I had to have, my own planning and then homeschool planning, I discovered Ring Planner. So 2019, halfway through 2019, I started using personal size Ring Planner. And then that's when I started to create my own planner printables. And then, so I bought one Ring Planner. Where am I going to put I'm going to put the what do you call it? The water tracker here or here. Where am I going to put it? Here. Okay. So personal size. And then 2020, I think my boys, hubby, and my sons got me another personal size Filofax. And then that's when I started using Filofax ring planners. And then I found that personal size was too small to also have our homeschooling schedule and our homeschooling lessons. So I went into A5. And then, so that's, I used both personal size ring planner. And then in 2023, I discovered Hobonichi planners and thought, you know what? I would love to stay in one planner for the whole year. So then everything was there. No, my brain just couldn't function to be in the same planner all year because I needed the novelty. I wanted to change things up. So I went back to A5 ring planner, I think in March of 2024. And then between that and now, I've ring planner and notebook insert, for traveler's notebook. And so, yeah, I've just changed my mind. So, and then I went, I wanted to take time off for June, as in not show up on here, but from my scheduled 5 a.m., Monday 5 a.m. Was taking a little bit of toll on me because I have to wake up at 4. Not that I have to, but I like to get ready 4 o'clock in the morning. And yeah, I thought, you know what, let's take a little bit of a break. And then one day I just woke up and go, I wonder what it'll be like to go and use a grid planner, notebook A5 grid planner again. And that's where we are, Michelle. So this was now, I'm 3 weeks into it. So, I didn't wait until the start of June. I just went, and that's the beauty of a, blank slate, is you can start whenever you want. You can create any pages you want. You can, use only one page. You can use multiple pages. Okay, so I'm just putting a water tracker on each day. So then that way, it's a nice little reminder for me to go and drink my water. So let me show you how that looks like on this week's spread. Okay, so there it is, my little water intake. So then I'll go, ooh, I better go and have some water. Okay, so that's where we have at the moment. I've got my water tracker at the bottom, and now I'm going to go look at my weather app on my watch, and then add in the weather forecast. So I'm going to pop that here, I think. Do I want it here? No, I want it here. So Monday is going to be raining. So I'm going to use my little, let me see if I can zoom in a bit. My little stencil, and then put in, now I only have the cloud as stenciled in because then I can just draw everything else. So let me make sure I have zoomed in or focus only on that, so then it's not trying to focus on my hand. So I'm just going to put little raindrops, and it is going to be 9 to 18 degrees Celsius. Tuesday it's partly cloudy. So I got this idea of putting in the weather forecast from Elena of the Organized Money. So she's a big YouTuber that talk about using your planner to, you know, help you plan your, not only plan your day or your week, but also your budget, because a lot of things stem from, you know, money worries. And when before she started her channel, I think that it was that one moment where, you know, she was trying to save up money, take her lunch to work, but no, she was running late and she forgot her lunch. Then it was raining, 12 to 21 degrees, 12 to 21. And, you know, she didn't know that the forecast was rain. And so then she had to go buy lunch, buy an umbrella, and yeah, just wreaked havoc in her day. And so that's why she said, you know what, I'm going to make sure I know the forecast of the weather. So, I mean, I work from home now as a content creator, and, you know, I don't go out much. I just stay indoors all the time. However, because we do homeschool my younger son, so he's 17, and my husband's the one who looks after, does all the homeschooling. When they have their daily outing, it's important that we know what the weather is, so then we can plan ahead, because, you know, he has sensory processing needs, and, you know, if a storm is coming, yeah, that can wreak havoc to his trying to regulate his mood. And so knowing ahead of time, 14 to 19, ahead of time, whether it's going to be raining, you know, we can sort of like have contingency plan. So if they need to go out for their outing and it is stormy, we might have to, you know, preempt, Saturday 13 to 20, preempt what the weather will be like and have a change of plan activity. Okay, and then Sunday is raining as well. Okay, now tell me if you know this. I only found this out recently. You know how when weather forecast it'll say 30% chance of rain, 14 to 19. All right, a lot of the time I thought that's, you know, 30% chance, as in there's 30% chance in the day that it will be raining. That's not actually what that means. It means that 30% of the area, so where I live here, 30% of the area will get rain. So it's not the chance of rain, it's the area of rain. So there you go. So, all right, so I've got the day, the weather, got my, what's this called? Water intake tracker. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to look at my calendar, my June calendar, and then I'm going to look at all the known events and bills to pay or any Zoom meetings. So from the 8th, 9, 10, 11, so I've got 8, 9, 12, 14, 15, oh no, till 14. All right, so there I've got to make sure I'm going to use the little boxes for my things to do. So maybe I might pick the smaller square today. And I'm already going to pop in the known things I need to do based on what I have written in my calendar. So need to pay rent tomorrow. Pay rent. Okay, so let me go look for June. The 9th. Oh my goodness! So at the moment I am doing a course that's 3 a.m. in the morning. And am I crazy? Why, yes, I am. Because the facilitators are in the US. So, but I've been taking breaks. I've been sleeping, so making sure I'm looking after myself. But it's been something that I wanted to do because I've done a new channel, so Marianne on YouTube, where I talk content creator stuff. So I thought, you know what? I've got all of this knowledge. The 12th. I've got all this knowledge that, I would like to share. And of course, here on this channel, Marianne Cress, that's all about planning, productivity, self-care, trying to make sure you manage your overwhelm and not put too much on your plate. You come here for planning content. You don't come here for, live streaming or YouTubing. What am I trying to do here? 1 a.m. So a lot of my viewers are in the US, and so I gotta go where the people are. And so I look at my content creation as like a night shift. Office hours. Oh, thank you, Winnie. Winnie says, such a beautiful bullet journal, and I've missed bullet journaling. So it's really one of those things that this is my way to add creativity to my day, because I do love, I've loved sewing, I've loved crocheting, knitting, and those things, those type of projects take a while. They the payoff or the outcome can take weeks or months, and so finding yourself a creative outlet that will give you a dopamine hit, sooner rather than later, will, help inspire your brain to, hey, let's do more brain dump. Let's do more creative stuff as part of our self-care. And so bullet journaling has been that for me. Okay, so what I've done, I'm sure I've got some other things that I need to add to my calendar known events. So I'll do all the 3 a.m. start, but based on my calendar, 5 a.m. Yes, I have a client. That's an important one. So for the things that have just, if you want to check out the little check boxes, for the things that have dedicated time, I use the circle. So here, okay, so if it's a time event, then I use the circle as the little check box. Just again, a fun way to use different things on your planner. Okay, so let's have a look. Diana, greetings from Thailand. Nice to see you. Oops. Thank you so much for joining. I appreciate you being here. Hope you are well. And so let us know what time it is there and what date. Okay, so there's my bullet journal spread. I did think up of something else. I can't remember. That's okay. Hopefully it'll come back to me. Oh yes, so what I'll put here also at the top for each day, so if I'm planning maybe the night before or before the day starts, is what are my top 1, 2, or 3 priorities? Things like get myself outside. If your goal for the month is drink more water, have that be prominent at the top of your screen. So Diana, who's in Thailand, says it is 10:40 a.m. So nice to see you. So good morning. It's good Sunday morning. I appreciate you being here. So, all right, what we were going to do, we were going to look at my June bullet journal spread. So then that way you can see where I'm at. Let us check it out. So if you're new to my channel, hello there, I'm Marianne. So you'll find if you do scroll back, I have different planner systems. It's whatever is inspiring me in the moment, and like I said, something that will make me add creativity and time off the thing. Yeah, thanks for the flag to jump on here, because I'm here of you. Oh, yay! Okay, is this a different Winnie? Winnie, is that a different Winnie or two Winnies? All right, so thanks for the flag to jump on here, because I'm here because of you. Oh, yay! Oh, Winnie told you, flagged it to you. Oh, thank you, Fee. Oh, that's so nice of you, Winnie, because I was getting confused with them. Fee says that Winnie told her about this live stream. Nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. Oh, thank you, Winnie. Some great ideas. Yes. So that's I know I'm always like looking for great inspiration, and normally, you know, back in the day it was Pinterest for me, but now, and then it was Instagram, but now Instagram is, you know, a very video heavy, and sometimes I just want to see photos, so then you can, you know, maybe zoom in on photos. So hopefully but yeah, so that is my June cover page. You've got the calendar. This again, you know, inspired by Pinterest back in the day. This was a little drawing inspired by Inslee by Design, so on Pinterest, but this was from a few years ago. So I couldn't find the exact link because she's done so much more things as well. So that's monthly cover page. So that's always something to look forward to at the end of the month, when I am going to go and start creating my pages for the new month, which is what I had missed in the ring planners or in the Hobonichis or the inserts. Just being able to, you know, whatever I want to do. Calendar spread, very different from your traditional, you know, grid squares. So if you can find yourself, if you find that, hey, I'm not good at drawing, find a little photo, you know, put some stickers, just of what theme you might want. If you've got any of, you know, sticker pads that have individual stickers that doesn't make a full theme anymore, just do a collage, just the same way that I've done with stickers here. You can do collage, and then you can do some nice colored background. And then what I did from 1 to 15, 16 to 30, or depending on what month it is, you know, just penciled out 1, 2, 3, and then start writing the different things, that known events, bills to pay, meetings, birthdays, special occasions. Okay, so that's my calendar spread. And then I have my habit tracker. Normally I will have habit tracker in a you know, a grid, but again, something different. Did this take time to do? Why, yes, but it's probably so I've got my little I made this myself using Cricut cutting machine, and played around with, you know, putting all these little squares, cut one, tested it to see if it fit. So after a few tries, I got one here. Okay, if you're in Australia, I do have a few still. I don't know, I think I was selling them for $5 plus postage. Yeah, reach out to me. It's just, you know, very homemade. So if you're looking for manufactured quality, this has lasted me for years. And then I just put a little ribbons, because of course it's clear. Once it's on the desk, you can't see it. So I have a little ribbon added to it, so then it's just it stands out. So yeah, put little boxes, you know, based on the days of the month, and then just put it into little grids, and then I color in each if I've completed it. Okay, Michelle, are you in Australia? Let me know. Because I think nowadays it'll just be a letter. The only thing, if you're not in Australia, a letter, I don't know, it can get lost, and so and I think most things, if it's like a merchandise, they now sort of insist that it is tracked. And then of course, I don't know if there's tariffs, so let me know. Yeah, I can never find one with the right size square. So yeah, 5mm grid. This fits all beautifully, you know, after so many tries. Reach out to me anyway, and I'll see what we can do. So that's the habit tracker. 1 line a day gratitude log, because of course, start looking for all the stuff, the good things you're grateful for in the month or the week or the day. So then your brain starts to focus rather than always on the negative if you are having a difficult or challenging day, week, or month. Okay, so what is it you're grateful for? So it's just 1 quick line a day. Now this one I've been tracking. I was inspired by one of my I can see that YouTube is struggling. Hopefully I'm not freezing too much. I wanted to go and track what I do in my day, because I feel like I'm all over the place, because I am, you know, I work from home. There's no set 9 to 5. As you can see, my sleep, there is no pattern. So I've got to get better at that, because, you know, going through perimenopause and hormonal changes and how important they say sleep is. And so if I'm, you know, when my brain starts to get low or get sad, maybe I should look at sleeping properly and getting enough sleep. So before I try and figure, you know, get too worried, let me track what my pattern is and start establishing a better pattern rather than all over the place. But that's so work, personal, movement, free time, and sleep. I've got my little color coding there. Does it take time to have to do this? Yes, but I'm more aware of where my time is going. So, you know, there's a bit here that I've added like a gray where I'm just doom scrolling. So I'm actually quite happy that I am, you know, productive. Normally, if this was May, if I had to track what my May was, it'll be a lot of doom scrolling, sitting on the couch doing nothing. So I really wanted to be aware of how well I'm using my time. Hi April, nice to see you. Thank you so much for joining. April says, I want to be like this, but I just can't do it. Look, it can just be, you can just start with 1 page. I know it can be really daunting to start and do this for the whole year, for the whole day. So you can just add bits and pieces to your day. Now, I think YouTube is dropping out. So hopefully, I don't know what's going on with YouTube. I hope you're still all here. But yeah, so yeah, because I'm streaming to 3 different places that I'm, you know, maybe my internet is having a little bit of a difficulty. But yeah, that tracking again, of course, this, you know, if you've already got a lot on your plate, maybe this is not a good start. But for me, you know, it's really important for me to know what I'm doing with my time. And so really it's an important part of getting to know myself better. Then that way, still find on my end. Thank you, Michelle. Yeah, maybe it's just my internet. Okay, so, and then this one, again, my mood log, it's just adding fun. You know, if you are finding yourself where you are so stressed out that, and then you, Marianne, I don't even have time to, you know, take a break. Add little things. You don't have to do this all in one go. Maybe just grab a piece of paper, right, loose paper, and just add it in between your current planning system. Paper clip it, sticky tape it down on a blank piece of paper, and just do one thing. It doesn't have to be like this, because this is it's a striped sock or legging, or yeah, long socks. And then each and every stripe I am putting how I'm feeling. So it's a little mood tracker. Again, this was one spread that I did back in May 2018. So I went, oh, let's do that. And if you can't draw and you have an iPad and your paper is thin enough where you can put your paper on top of the iPad screen and just do tracing, okay? As long as, of course, you are not sharing or claiming whatever you're drawing as your own, then, you know, make sure that, or you're not selling it, because, you know, it's someone else's intellectual property, then you can do that. Tracing is fine as long as you're not using it to sell or make money, or you're not, you know, you're saying it is your own. All right, so then there's that one. So that's the mood log. Okay, let's have a look. Okay, so then I love trackers, because trackers is a great way for you to see your progress, and it helps motivate you as well. So what I might do is I might just do this with you. Let's see, I think I currently am on YouTube. I have, how many? We have, I think, 14,000 something. I am trying to get to 15,000 followers on YouTube by the end of June. Okay, so road to 15K YouTube stubs, and there's the 15K. I start beginning of the month, I was at 14,532, and I can see that I am 14,558. So while we're here, I'm going to get my handy dandy calculator and see where we're at. So 14,558 minus 14,532. Okay, so I've gained 26 new subscribers since 1st of June, and then I think I have 78 or 79 little boxes or stepping stone, and each little square is 6 new subs. So 26 divided by 6 is, I need to color in 4. So I've got 1 there. Let me color in the rest. 1. Let me see if we can do this. Okay, so you guys are helping me color this in. Nice little progress. So instead of coloring the whole thing and then maybe, you know, the ink going and ghosting or bleeding through, I'm just going to do nice little striped lines. So that's something you can do as well. You don't have to color the whole thing. Just use diagonal lines, dots, and I'm just using rainbow colors, red, orange, yellow, green. So then I don't have to worry about which color. So what did we say? 4 boxes. So because each box represents 6 new subscribers. So if you haven't yet subscribed, make sure you do, and help me get to the road of 15K to by the end of the month. Look, these things for us content creators, they're vanity metrics. They look nice, but you know, it's nice to see, but you know, and it really does show that you like me. You really, really like me. For those oldies, that's a Sally Field Academy Award acceptance speech. All right, so there we go. I look, doop, 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 getting there. Okay, so what are we? 7 days in, and I've already colored in 4 little stepping stones. And then here is my running to-do list. I'll make sure to pop in the description how I use a running to-do list to plan my week. So this is the only task list that I'll look at for the week. Everything else can wait next week or later on in the month. If you are on YouTube, go to the playlist at the top that says Start Here. Because if you are feeling overwhelmed, you're feeling burnt out, you've got so much on your to-do list, you don't know where to start, click on that playlist, click on Start Here, and make sure you do a brain dump first. Before you plan anything, do a brain dump. And I have a free brain dump guide for you. Yes, 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 girl, I got you, all right? So you got a brain dump guide, a brain dump trigger list. So that helps you, you know, trigger some things that's in your head, get it out of your head and down on paper. And then you get a grid line for brain dumping. So each and every Sunday, my Sunday here in Australia, in the YouTube membership, we do a brain dump. So we do a brain dump together, put a timer on, because sometimes it's not that we don't know what to do, it's just we need other people to maybe, you know, inspire us or be in the same space, supportive space. So if you haven't yet grabbed my brain dump printable guide, that's the page, that's a page, and that's a page. Okay, and then you can print as many of these pages as you want. What I did is I just printed them back to back on an A4 paper, folded it in half, and then it's an A5, shoved it into the sleeve of this cover. So I have it here, okay? There's my brain dump. This was last week's. This was today, early at 11 o'clock. And this is where I will grab the things that I have said I'd like to do for today, tomorrow, and the week, and then I will add it onto a running to-do list. And how do you use a running to-do list? Check that start here playlist, because it goes through step by step. So if you're feeling really overwhelmed at the moment, don't know where to start, brain dump first, then put it on a list that's only a limited list for only the week. Because if your list is never ending and you don't know where to start and you're feeling overwhelmed, then that's where it could be. All right. April says, we really, really do like you. Oh, thank you. Yes, so that's a Sally Field thank you speech. Because sometimes, even though I say, you gotta have the positive mindset, this is the reason why I plan, is because I need constant reminder. Because brain fog is coming. I get very low in my thoughts, and I get sometimes very sad. It's because I think that's the way my brain is wired. So instead of hiding from it, ignoring it, I work with it. So what do I need to do? So it's like, Marianne, what do you need to do? Are you hungry? Go get something to eat. Are you lonely? Go online. Go call some friends. Catch up with some people. Are you tired? Have some sleep. Need sleep. Go for a walk. Add movement. And that's where my planning comes in, because we're not supposed to remember all these things all the time. We need reminders, so then that way we're not storing it in our head, and that's why planning for me is important. So when I say what I do to people, you go, oh, you must be great at planning, you must be organized. It's like, no, I'm not organized, I'm all over the place. That is why I plan. Okay, so then I've here my clean and declutter list, because I was finding I have cleaning list here and there. So these are just weekly cleaning, so maybe some decluttering and organizing. So it's all on one list. Then that way I can just go through it each week or each day and goes, which one of these things can I do this week? Okay, so it's just a running list there. I do have a printable in my shop at mariannecrest.com, an expense tracker. So if you don't want to be doing rules and lines, and you want to go and track your expenses, especially if you're trying to get out of debt or start saving, I do have printables. So you don't have to do bullet journaling. I have printables that I've used for many years. I've just changed things up because, my brain was going, oi, Marianne, what's up? Why aren't you touching your planner? What is it you need to do? Oh, you need to go and do something creative. So I've saved enough space, because I figured this is 1 week's worth of expenses. I mean, a lot of them are grocery and broken up, because we just buy as we go, because we only live in a small flat, small fridge, so we don't do bulk shopping, or my husband doesn't do bulk shopping, and the shopping center is just nearby. So a lot of these individual line items are grocery shopping. That's $5, $10, and that's why 1 week's worth has taken up one page. So there's 4 weeks in the month, so I've gone and created some spaces for those, and I can rule it up. I'm not ruling it all up right now, because then if I don't need that much space, I can always use a blank page for something else. Okay, so then that's that. And then, of course, here we are back to the beginning. This is my bullet journal A5 dotted grid notebook weekly spread for the days of June 8th to June 14th. I have here each day all boxed up. If you wanted to follow along and want to do a bullet journal in this spread, each box is 12 grid wide by 17 grid tall, and then with a space in between and 2 spaces in between top and bottom boxes. I've added a water tracker, water intake, as well as the weather forecast, so I know what weather's coming up. And that is all that we have here. So now if you do want to check out my website, I don't know if this will work, in the and want to grab printable download, if you have an A5 ring planner or Happy Planner Classic, or even personal size, I've got some personal size planners there. The link is in the chat right now, or check the description. Now, the Instagram live, I won't be putting the replay up. So if you want to watch the replay, if you caught me at the end, go to my YouTube channel, Marianne Cress. I think I have that, I have the stream linked there, and check me out there. Help me get to the 15K subscribers. Would love it if you would do that. If you haven't yet subscribed, I think last time I checked, about 61% of those that have watched any of my videos or my content are not yet subscribed. Come on, especially during the month of June, where I am just showing up impromptu. So I'll just turn up whenever I can. So once this live stream has been posted,